Good morning and welcome in on this Wednesday. Dan Hardenbrook, glad to have you along. It is time now for the latest look at your local news from around the region with your Newberry News Update here on M123 FM. The local news this morning is being brought to you by the Newberry News. Check out this week's front page headlines. Newberry's rail system is under new ownership. Newberry mushers competing in races in Idaho help find Foxy a new home. The latest COVID numbers by county. The fishing season that lasted only 36 minutes. And questions to ask your doctor. You test positive for COVID. Those stories and more available in this week's edition of the Newberry News. Available now. In your local news this morning, Helen Newberry Joy Hospital and Healthcare Center is providing updates on visitation rules for the facility. Based on the continual rise in positive COVID-19 cases within the community, Helen Newberry Joy Hospital and Healthcare Center has announced the difficult decision to extend the suspension of in-person visitations by 1 week. Also, the hospital announced that on Monday, the suspension for in-person visitors of medical and surge inpatients has been lifted. Each patient will be allowed only one visitor at a time until further notice. Helen Newberry Joy says that their patients, families, and staff members' health and safety is their top priority. They're continuing to make every effort to minimize the risk and sincerely apologize for any trouble restrictions may cause. If you have any questions, you can contact Helen Newberry Joy. You can get contact information on their website and Facebook page. Lewis County has announced meeting dates and times for their Lewis County Parks and Rec Board as well as the county commissioners. Lewis County Parks and Rec Department will hold their regular meeting at 4:30 p.m. today at the County Commissioners Boardroom. It's located in the southwest corner of the Lewis County Government Building. You're asked to use the southwest entrance. Lewis County Board of Commissioners will hold their regular meeting at 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday next week. That's February 15th in the Circuit Courtroom of the Lewis County Government Building. The Michigan State Police have announced multiple promotions involving the Upper Peninsula. MSP says that they are proud to announce the promotions of Detective Lieutenant Kevin Ryan to the 8th District Special Investigations Section, Sergeant Brock Alfitch of the St. Ignace Post. Promotions took effect earlier this week. Detective Lieutenant Ryan will oversee the Michigan State Police's Special Investigative Section, commonly known as the Detective Bureau, throughout the Upper Peninsula. He'll also be responsible for handling complex investigations and coordinating with local post detectives as part of their daily operations. Ryan is a graduate of the 116th Trooper Recruit School, graduating in 1998. Upon graduation, he was assigned as a trooper to the Lakeview Post, where he spent 13 years before transferring to Negaunee. He was promoted to sergeant in 2016, shortly after transferred to the Detective Bureau as a detective sergeant at the Negaunee Post. Prior to his time with the Michigan State Police, Ryan spent 6 years as a patrol officer at the Reed City Police Department. He is originally a native of Munising. Sergeant Art Fitch joins the St. Ignace Post, where he'll oversee the day-to-day operations of Michigan State Police Services in Mackinac County. Art Fitch is a graduate of the 127th Trooper Recruit School from 2014. After graduation, he was assigned to the Gaylord Post, where he spent several years handling traffic and criminal incidents, then transferred to the 7th District Hometown Security Team, where he spent the last 2.5 years specializing in drug and criminal interdiction. Art Fitch holds a Juris Doctorate degree from Michigan State University Law School, will come to the St. Ignace Post with much experience and training in the criminal justice system. He's a native of Northeast Nebraska. The Erickson Center for the Arts has announced that registration is now open through their office and Facebook page for their upcoming painting class with Steve Ross. The Erickson Center is announcing that artist instructor Steve Ross is offering a 3-day workshop that'll take place in June. Steve Ross is the son of the legendary Bob Ross. Steve carries his father's love and compassion for painting and is an accomplished artist and instructor in his own right. After a break from teaching, he's back on the road offering classes and workshops all over the country. For information on how to get signed up for the special event, you can contact the Erickson Center for the Arts, 586-9974. Check out their website and Facebook page. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has announced she's proposing a $1 billion boost to the state's transportation budget. It'd be a nearly 20% increase to repair roads and help other spending. The $6.3 billion plan she'll present to lawmakers Wednesday includes new road and bridge funding from the federal infrastructure law. 3/4 would go to state roads and bridges and 1/4 to local roads and bridges. Whitmer's proposal includes a call for augmenting transportation budgets with general funds. It also factors in a nearly 1 cent per gallon fuel tax hike that took effect last month under a 2015 law. Whitmer says Michigan has made huge progress fixing roads, but there's still much work to be done. That comes on the same day the Michigan Senate approved a $1.2 billion bill to combat COVID-19. Michigan lawmakers made the decision yesterday. It includes $300 million to help hospitals, nursing homes, other healthcare facilities give recruitment and retention bonuses to help hire workers. The allocation would be the latest from funding that was enacted by Congress and President Biden nearly 1 year ago. Would be funded evenly with discretionary and non-discretionary federal pandemic dollars, leaving the state with $4.7 billion of the $6.5 billion in funding, which it has broad flexibility. The Senate passed the legislation 36-2. The House passed an earlier version, may give it final approval later this week. The measure includes $150 million for school safety, including purchasing coronavirus tests, $100 million for early treatment of patients with monoclonal antibodies and antiviral pills, and $70 million in grants to adult foster care facilities and homes for aging residents. That is your latest local news this morning. It's your Newberry News Update here on M123 FM. As always, your Wednesday news brought to you by the Newberry News. Don't forget, it's Wednesday. Pick up your copy. The latest edition of the Newberry News, available now. Time now to check in with sports this morning. Michigan State fell in Big Ten play against the Wisconsin Badgers last night. 17th ranked Spartans got behind big early and couldn't complete the comeback, falling 70-62. It's the Spartans' second straight loss, which drops them to 17-6 overall and 8-4 Big Ten conference play. Marcus Bingham Jr. had a team-high 15 points. Malik Hall scored 12, including 9 points on 4 of 4 shooting after halftime, but they were the only Spartans in double figures. Michigan's men got a big win. It was a nail-biter at Penn State. Keeps their NCAA tournament hopes alive after a 58-57 victory. Wolverines held Penn State scoreless for more than 10 straight minutes to take a lead. Hunter Dickinson had 19 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Wolverines improve to 12-9 on the season and 6-5 in the Big Ten. The Detroit Tigers have announced a date for the official retirement ceremony for the number of legendary infielder Lou Whitaker. The wait to immortalize Whitaker in the team's Hall of Fame, retire his number, will finally end this summer. Tigers will hold the ceremony on Saturday, August 6th, prior to their game against the Tampa Bay Rays. The Tigers originally announced that they would retire Whitaker's number 1 back in December of 2019. Whitaker, though, had a ceremony delayed multiple seasons due to COVID restrictions and fans not being able to attend. Team says that they are excited to give Whitaker his place in history. Latest local weather forecast for the day today. Snow showers likely, cloudy, a high in the low 30s. South winds 5 to 10. Thursday, 40% chance of snow, cloudy, highs in the mid-20s. Northwest winds 10, gusting as high as 20. Friday, snow showers, highs will creep up into the mid-30s in the afternoon. Could see some accumulation possible. That is a look at your latest news, sports, and weather this morning. It is your Newberry News Update on M123 FM.